Thanks for downloading our fourth podcast. I'm Raj, my background's in film, design, media and tech.
And I'm Mike, and you may know me from the Google world, startup growth, advocating for open government, and being all over the internet.
And you're here because you're a Kiwi that either works in or has a great passion for tech and media in New Zealand. We have another great show coming up for you today. Later we'll be catching up with Sam Rye from Lifehack Labs.
Episode 4, so let's crack into it.
Mobile continues to drive workplace productivity. The BYOD, or bring your own device, is no longer just a buzzword. Companies are now looking at this from a productivity and a monetary value perspective. Many companies are getting together at Enterprise Apps World, which is a conference in London, bringing CIOs, IT professionals, developers together in a lively debate and discussion about mobile app mobility, development, enterprise app security, data access and management. Sarah Wheeler, who's a managing director of Mullabaloo, which is a mobile app consultancy in
Mullabaloo?
Mullabaloo.
Motherbaloo? Is it spelled there?
Mullabaloo, yeah.
Mubaloo. You tell us how it's said.
Which, by the way, is a mobile app consultancy in London. She says businesses definitely are thinking about mobility in a much more strategic way than they were a few years ago. But there's a lot to do and a lot of work to be done in terms of getting everyone together across the organisation. For more on this, the links are in our show notes.
TEDx Wellington wants speakers for their 24th August event. There's a call out to Wellingtonians and Kiwis who'd like to either nominate themselves or nominate someone else to speak at the event. Get along to the TEDxWellington.com website, scroll down and fill in the form as soon as possible. In fact, as soon as possible, as I know it's closing soon. The TEDx event series has grown amazingly within New Zealand over the past 2 or 3 years. We've got Wanaka, Christchurch, Queenstown, Tauranga coming next month. But who doesn't have an event anymore? The largest event, of course, is held in Auckland. And nationally, the events have had such speakers as Di Henwood, Ellen Clark, Anna Gunther, King Capisi, and Robin Patterson. Actually, the Wanaka event is this coming Saturday. So I hope you've got tickets. Check out their website. That's tedxwanaka.com. And I've just been there and seen that a mate of mine is speaking, Andrea Thompson, and she is awesome. But it's not just about the main centres, with TEDx events focused on Auckland Youth, Vic Uni, Homebush Road Women, and many other specific topics. But remember, get those TEDx Wellington nominations in soon. Oh, hang on. World Cup's going on. England, Italy. Well, back in a minute, folks. Hey, look, this is probably going to be non-news of the week. Did you know that 75% of Kiwi IT workers are males?
Surprising.
According to the most excellent Wiki New Zealand site, there are around 13,000 female workers in New Zealand IT, which is a paltry 25%. Sucks. In my experience, the best IT staff are women. It's as simple as that. And the Wiki New Zealand site has a many up-to-date Kiwi infographics with other IT-focused ones, such as what are the proportion of internet access by device? No surprises that it's 92% is mobile phone, but there's some others in there that will make your eyebrows rise. 38% say the internet is very important in everyday life.
I'd agree.
Thank God for that. Otherwise, how would they get this fantastic podcast?
That's right.
And in 2000, only 48% of Kiwis use the internet. But now we are a nat smidgen under 90%.
That's big growth.
Fantastic stuff. And proves how important everything is. Are you running a startup and doing it yourself? It's tough business, isn't it? And there's so much experience available to hook into, but what about the cash flow? Interesting post from Laura, one of the 13,000 IT workers in New Zealand, and from Built in Wellington, discussing this very problem. Is DIY going to kill your business? Probably not, but don't hold back on reaching out to those who have the experience, and especially in New Zealand, as we're half a step away from each other, and we have it in our DNA to help. But that cash flow, That cash flow.
Oh, cash flow's king, as they say.
Exactly. So don't do it yourself always.
Mike.
It's 2-1. Go on now.
Mike.
What?
On.
It's 2-1. Okay, sorry.
It's on. And Mike, it's interesting you mention how unbalanced the tech community is in terms of gender. Others would say it's a sausage fest, but, that's not me. That's why I was glad to see Susan Wood interviewed Victoria Ransom today on Q&A. Victoria started and then subsequently sold her company called Wildfire, which is a social media tool that helps businesses use social media effectively. Now she's head of product at Google. She was saying NZ needs to cultivate talent here by either, subsidising tertiary institutions or having an effective immigration policy that gets the right people in the door with the right skills to help our tech space here in New Zealand.
I suppose it's all part of that ongoing story that we have, that we just don't have the talent.
Need the people.
Need the people. Exactly right, mate, yeah. That's great to have, someone from Google, Kiwi from Google, on mainstream media, on the TV, talking about it.
Run the Red, sold to Push Play. Wow. So Run the Red is a Wellington-based SMS gateway provider. They started out as a web production company in development. The founder, Deborah Crow, Ben Northrop, Justin Baumser, and Jeremy Buckley quickly caught on to the global explosion of text messaging. This would be about 10 years ago. Since then, they've won numerous awards, locally and internationally. They manage mobile campaigns and services in America, the UK, Spain, Brazil, Fiji, even Samoa, Australia and New Zealand.
Wow.
And now Push Play, they're the guys who provide mobile commerce tools that facilitate fast, secure, non-point-of-sale payments between consumers and merchants. So they simultaneously provide platforms that increase sales and revenue while simplifying business processes and trying to cut costs. So Pushplay is looking to carry out an NZAX compliance listing next month. So they'll raise about $9 million as a private share issue, about $1 a share prior to listing.
Wow, so you're going to buy some?
I wouldn't say no if I had some money.
I might, and I've never heard of them.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
Remember, this is not a recommendation. Shares can go up as well as down, and always consult your doctor before leaving it too late. Or something, I'm sure we need to say.
So interesting times for local company Run the Red and Ben and his team. In fact, I'll catch up with Ben in the next few weeks and we'll get him on the show.
Fantastic, mate. Awesome. And the final two pieces of news this week. The New Zealand CIO has their annual summit in Auckland. Look, I get that everyone needs to sit back and celebrate a year's worth of work well done, but there's something wrong in the way that the CIO event feels. But that's just me. And I'll never be invited to be a CIO after that comment. Winners during this week's two-day event were, of course, Rod Drury for being best dude at everything.
No.
Yeah. Kevin Angland for being best CIO in New Zealand. And Amanda White for being the most fantastic emerging ICT personage. Excellent to see that there's a female there. But think about it. One amongst three. There are some other awards, but to be honest with you, go look at the website. A more useful note is a wonderful post from Pia War about how to make government data sites better. Now, Pia War, if you don't know who Pia War is and you work in government, then you now have your Google search for the day. Go find out all about Pia, P-I-A. Pia sums up the biggest issue around use of government data. Okay, the biggest issue is access, actually being able to get to the data. But the second biggest access, as she writes, the most frustrating part of the process is knowing how useful the data could be if only it was shared more simply. Unfortunately, ease of use is rarely the case, and we spend more time formatting and inspecting the data than we do actually putting it to use. Shouldn't it be the other way around? I totally agree with Pia. So if you're sitting in a government agency wondering how you can make a difference, there you go. Make it your daily work to chip away at ease of use and use Pia's post as your how-to guide. Still 2-1. On episode 2, we briefly mentioned the new Lifehack program, supported by the government and being run by the Wellington-based Inspiral crew. This week, Rad's caught up with Sam to find out more.
Right, welcome listeners. Just chatting here with Sam Rye from Lifehack Labs, also known as the first social innovation lab, or otherwise known as the design-led bootcamp. Now Sam, welcome to the show, and what's all this about?
Thank you, Raj. So Lifehack Labs just launched in the last 2 weeks. We're very excited to bring this to New Zealand, and we're headquartered in Wellington. Mm-hmm. So Lifehack Labs is all about generating new tech ideas and teams behind them to tackle, to improve youth wellbeing, with a specific focus on sort of tackling youth mental health challenges in Aotearoa.
And so how did you get started?
So MSD, so the Ministry for Social Development came to the entrepreneur community about the end of 2012, start of 2013. Worked with Jason Armishaw, who actually brought Startup Weekend to New Zealand. And Jason and a small team of likely fellows like myself joined together in 2013 to run events up and down the country to start engaging young Kiwis in developing solutions and digital solutions and apps, games, that sort of thing, to focus on youth mental health. And then since then, we've taken this idea forward in the end of 2013 and onwards now with a new team, and we've been reshaping how that looks as an event series, and also now brought to life this idea of Lifehack Labs.
So how long are these? It's like a course or a seminar type scenario, right?
Yeah, it's actually a 5-week experience, so full-time, fully immersive here in Wellington. We're accepting applications from all over the country, so we're giving people from all over New Zealand the chance to come down to Wellington. We're actually going to be looking after people's accommodation whilst they're here. Oh, wow. Basically it's going to be a full-time experience where people just immerse themselves in this, like starting to understand what the problems are that are facing our young Kiwis, and then starting to work forward from there to design, prototype and launch new technology and new ventures around youth wellbeing.
That's great. And the people involved, and you've got people, I assume, just like another organisation, they bring in experts to talk about certain things, right?
Yeah.
So who are your experts?
Yeah.
Besides yourself, who else is in there?
So we've got a great little team that's holding Lifehack Labs as the idea. So that's myself, Chelsea Robinson, and Gina Rembe. We're also going to add a few more people to that team in the next couple of weeks to make this happen. But we also heard from a lot of Kiwis from our first couple of years working on Lifehack that they really valued mentors and the time and perspective that they put into those ideas. So we're building a pool of mentors, about 20 or so mentors, so almost one per person for labs. And they're going to be coming from everything from technology background to design to clinical psychology to music and all over the place. So we've had sign-ups from people like Penny Hagen, who is a designer from up in Auckland. We're working with design lecturers from Massey like Mark Bradford. Wow. And we've got a bunch of great mentors from the Inspiral crew as well. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And what would a potential candidate expect when they actually jump in and get involved? What happens during those weeks?
Yeah, so it's going to be quite a full-on experience, I think. In the first sort of week or 2 weeks, people are really going to be looking at getting to know one another and building, culture and trust and shared understanding and language between themselves. Because people are going to apply as individuals and join the team, create a team within the lab. So we've basically picked up on the sort of overwhelming research from accelerators and incubators around the world that says people. Don't start with the ideas, start with the people. Right. So we're actually taking that to the extreme in terms of inviting 20 people from all over New Zealand who may never have actually even met each other. And then taking them through this process to get to know one another and then build the teams and the ideas within the lab. So once that sort of process is sort of engaged with, those teams will start pulling apart problems and solutions and different ways to approach those problems, and going through that sort of business modelling, prototyping, building, rebuilding, validating sort of process to sort of really bring out a validated prototype product.
That's great. And so, you got any samples of what you've produced so far?
There's some of the ideas from 2013 are up on our website. There's a blog. If you searched Lifehack and top ideas from 2013, you'd probably find that. We can also send that link to you guys. We're also, curating a board of different examples from around the world. We've only been going for a short time, so there's a lot of inspiration coming from around the world for this work as well, whether it's the health technology stuff that's going on in the States around, Apple recently announced the health app,
right? Yes.
Things like that. So we've called it LifeStack. It's actually linked from our website as well. It's the idea of a digital library of wellness apps to help people live their lives and improve their well-being.
So one place to go that they can get everything they need.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So Sam, you came from, or were part of the Inspiral team or group. How does that relate to what you're doing now?
Okay, so Inspiral Foundation runs the Lifehack contract as a collaboration with Ministry for Social Development. I've been engaged with Inspiral since the very early days, which is probably about four and a half years now. Inspiral came out of a group of developers who got together and said, we want to use our skills to make meaningful change in the world. We don't just want to build products. We want to build products that are going to change people's lives. And out of that journey over the last 4.5 years, all of this sort of craziness has happened. Really, everything from building new websites and web apps for clients, but then starting to launch our own tech startups. Some of the ones that people might have heard of would be things like Lumio, Chalkle, Buckybox, and various of those. And I was part of the co-founding team at Buckybox, for example. This is kind of an exciting first step into that broader public good space for Inspiral, working with the Ministry for Social Development on Lifehack. But we've also been involved in other smaller projects that some people might have heard of in Wellington, things like the Smart Energy Challenge, which was a collaboration between Wellington City Council, Generation Zero and Inspiral as well. We're sort of getting around the place a little bit and it's
making a mark.
An interesting group to be working with to back this project, I guess.
That's cool. Now, if people want to know more or even enrol in these labs, I call it labs, where can they go? Where's the best place to go?
So the best place is to jump straight to the website, which is labs.lifehackhq.co. We also have it linked from the main website, lifehackhq.co. Through there's a whole raft of information and an application page where people can make a quick expression of interest and go through to that sort of next stage of interviews. We're looking for, I guess, the bright minds, whether they're from the tech space or the design space or people who are coding mobile apps in their bedroom or already working on psychology projects that have a well-being aspect to them. So we're looking for 20 of those people from around the country. So you can apply.
How long do they have?
So applications close on the 29th of June, so we're just a couple of weeks away. Get your applications in now.
Cool, and I appreciate your time, Sam. Also, where can people find you on places like Twitter?
Absolutely.
Spend time on Twitter, or are you a Google Plus guy?
A bit of everything, actually. So Lifehack, you can check out LifehackHQ is our Twitter handle. We're also on Facebook and Google Plus. And myself, my Twitter handle is samrye _Inspiral.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Excellent stuff. People making a difference makes the tech world go round. And if you're working in government IT, local or national, then remember to chip away at that open data usability. So we're coming to the end. Quick shout out to all those putting their hands up for an interview. We are both chuffed and slightly in awe. Thanks, and keep them coming.
Also, thanks to those who tweet about us or the show, like Kim Hollis, Jose Mathers, and Ian Appleby. We really appreciate the support.
And that's us. Don't take our jibber jabber as gospel on anything we say. Check out the show notes, leave comments, and follow the links to make up your own mind. Every episode's notes are linked from the #me post when the podcast goes live on a Tuesday.
Look on Twitter for Mike at Miramar Mike and myself at NZRaj. Follow this podcast on at #RadioNZ and use the hashtag #AccessGranted. Or email us on accessgranted at #me.co.nz. And for more hashtag goodness, go to the #me.co.nz website.
Thanks for your time, and see you next Tuesday with the Kiwi Tech News for those who make the computers do what they do.
#me.co.nz